and foremost, we are joined tonight by the one and only Mark Adams.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all okay.
Mr. Alan Watton has returned from Scotland.
Hello, everybody.
Wow, Irish accent. Brilliant.
Wow, that's a brilliant Welsh accent.
Oh, fantastic.
Mark Meredith over there in Dallas.
Hey, all.
Craig Courtney from just around the corner in Solihull.
Evening all from the posh seats.
And in the posh seats, Chris Browne.
Good evening.
And saving the best till last and giving us your feedback from the game, Claire, please, because you were the only one amongst us that was actually there and did the 6-hour round trip. So the floor is now yours, but first and foremost, welcome.
Hello, good evening. It's great to be here again. At least it's better than travelling all the way to Middlesborough. But 6 hours. I don't want to start off too negative. I think some of the football that we played going forward was good, and you can kind of see what they've worked on. However, there's a lot to talk about. We looked absolutely like we've never played together before. I understand no fear, but you have to do the basics right. You have to do defensively right. He set up 4-3-3. I like the fact that in corners he had 3 players up. So Dembele, Hogan and Stansfield were all the way up for corners. Soon as Ruddy got it, bang, gone. Love that. I think that's a great idea. How Hogan is anywhere near that starting 11, I don't know what he's done at training this week, but I've got no idea. Gary Gardner was a shock. I think when everyone saw the team sheet, we were like, oh dear, we travelled 3 hours to get here. How it was different was we had, instead of a 2 then a 1 and someone behind the striker, we played a flat 3. It didn't work at all. We had no creativity, nothing. The fullbacks were so high, the gaps behind them were huge. And literally they were just going down the sides each time, and they cut through us constantly. Yeah. There was no cover in the middle. And then they're expecting Gary Gardner and Sunjic to cover the fullbacks. And I don't agree with Rooney with basically slating the fullbacks either. They were on their knees by 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Going forward, we were good. We were lucky, but we should have been 4-0 down within half an hour. It was no fear. We were all fearing for it, and we were like, what is going on? I didn't like it that he was just every time throwing his arms up in the air. I understand they've had 1 week, but sometimes if it's not broken, don't change it. Stick with 4-2-3-1. But they looked like they didn't have a clue what was going on. Stansfield was wasted. Dembele, yes, he was up in the 3, but he wasn't asked to come back. Literally, it was you 3 stay up, everyone else tried to defend, but we couldn't pass 10 yards. And, like one of my friends, I have to kind of give her the commentary because of her sight. And literally I was going, Sanderson, Ruddy, long, Ruddy, Sanderson. Yeah. And it was the passing around the back was fearful.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
It was worth it. We had lots of incidences, but again, the atmosphere was quite flat as well, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, It was almost like wave after wave, especially in the first half, wasn't it? And how we obviously never conceded a penalty. We were lucky there, weren't we? On Sanderson on their player to me looked like.
Nah, it wasn't a penalty. No doubt, no chance. No, it wasn't a penalty. He got the ball.
Is that just from your live view, or have you seen it back?
That was from the live view. Like he got the ball all day.
I said on my blog that it was like the worst of John Eustace, but I'll retract that. I'll tell you what it actually reminded me of: the worst of Karenka. It was no hope football, no hope, never going to score a goal in a million years. No. And I was shocked when we conceded. It was, we've gone 87 minutes. Why couldn't we last out another 5? But it was bloody awful. And if that's what they think is going to enter, is fearless football and all the rest of it, then I'm afraid they've just lost the plot. The thing that annoyed me about it, we were on a run, right? And we had 2 weeks to prepare for the next game. Well, we cut that down to half of that because Rooney didn't arrive doing his training until the second week, and his coaching staff, particularly Ashley Cole, didn't arrive till Thursday. Yeah. So we, instead of having 2 weeks to prepare, we had 4 days.
Yeah, we didn't have that, to be honest.
It looked like in the end, it looked like we unprepared.
We've got to give them time. We've got to give them time to, you know. I mean, you all know how much I hate this tippy tappy stuff around the edge of our penalty box. I can't stand that.
No, just hoof it.
Yeah.
The problem is they were passing it, but the one time Drama got it and he nearly scored an own goal. Then they were so pressed up on us. And I know it doesn't make sense when everyone's like, give him time, give him time, give him time. We gave Zola time. We gave everybody time. The fact is we finally found a formation that fitted us. Now, this might be that this week, you know, we've got Hull. We might absolutely thrash them. But against some of these top teams that we've got coming up, Ipswich, Sunderland, Southampton. Like, I was watching Match of the Day yesterday because I did it on Catch Up. And I watched them and I was like, they all, even the Man Cities and things like that, their fullbacks aren't playing. At one point, we had 5 up front.
Yeah.
And they all defend properly. And it's it's got no fear means no defending.
My question mark. I think my question mark on that. Listen, it's a part of the process. We know, and we've got to stick with to see what he does. But he comes. I agree with Claire. He comes out after the game and he criticises the 2 fullbacks. And this tells him he needs to be a bit more mature in going forward and whatever else. But from my coaching experience, if you play with wing backs, you got to play 5 at the back. You can't leave 2 centre halves on their own at the back and then try to think that 2 midfielders are going to be able to cover the left and right side. So I think the formation is wrong straight away for the way he wants to play. If we don't agree with 5 at the back, but I think if that's the way he wants to play with, whoever the fullbacks are going to be when we get our other 2 fit, then he has to bring in, another centre back, and he needs to keep 3 centre halves on the field if he's going to put them going forward. And then the other thing is, you see Ruddy was high as Gardner was in a couple of stages, and it's crazy. And Sanderson and the other Long. Sanderson and Long aren't football players. We see that. We're not a club and we're not a team, and we never have been, that's going to be pretty playing from the back. I said they need to be big and strong. They need to be physical. They need to win the ball. We've always had success with, playing the ball forward, hitting the 9, whoever that's going to be. And that's another thing that I didn't agree with. You've got Stansfield again on the field, who's our best number 9, and you've got him out wide, and you're taking everything away from him. You got Hogan that, don't get me wrong, I don't like slating Hogan because I do like him, but he's not in form. And you've got your informed striker on the left, and then you've got this forward, as the 9, and he's not even really confident. Then the first substitution you make is you take Dembele off, who's your most creative player on the field. So this no fear football really did scare me, and it seemed as if Rooney didn't really know the players. And I get it. Listen, we had 2 or 3 days of prep, but as Claire said earlier, if you have 2 or 3 days of prep in a new job, if I went into a new job coaching a new team this week, then I'm keeping the same 11 for the first game, and I'm monitoring that 11 and then positions. And then on Wednesday, if he makes the changes on Wednesday, then he's got an argument against anything that why he did it. But I don't think he has any argument for Saturday to why he even changed the team and the formation. And as soon as I said to you guys on the messenger, as soon as I seen the team, I knew that Gardner wouldn't be a 10, and I knew it was going to be a 4-3-3, which again just takes all the creativity and anything that we have when we've got 2 of our most creative players with Maloshi and Bakuna sat on the bench. It was wrong from the start, but again, it's a new manager, it's a part of the process. I think we can't be fully negative with it. If I'm totally honest with you, I expected to lose at Middlesbrough. I didn't expect the performance we had. I don't think a youth team, I call it a youth team, but I don't think we probably would have got a result even if he was in charge.
No, I don't think so.
And we may have been having the conversation, but I don't think we've been having the conversation on how the players performed because they just look lost in the new regime.
It was bizarre.
Yeah, I certainly hope that we're looking back on this show in 4 or 5 weeks from now thinking, remember when we was having that conversation kind of thing, and sitting in the top.
You're right. I do.
Do you know what? The other thing to factor in, though, is the fact that 2 of his players didn't get back until Friday.
No, I know.
We've got to look at some of the positives that were there. I mean, in all honesty, yes, they had all the possession, Middlesbrough, and they were all over us. But actually, second half, they did change and they did become a bit of a more adaptable team. Yeah, I agree. We didn't have that kind of prowess going forwards. But the one thing was, up until that mistake, I also didn't think we'd concede. And
really, we was getting battered.
We were
getting battered, but we just didn't look like though we were actually going to concede. I know Ruddy was in there and he was doing everything he could to keep them out, but bar the the mistake at the end, would we have all been talking about this coming away with a 0-0? No. And the thing for me is we go into Wednesday now. He's had a few extra days. He still hasn't had a full week with his squad.
No.
And I think we will see changes because of his interview. He didn't skirt around the situation. I agree it was a bit naughty slating the players the way that he did. But there's also part of me that kind of thinks to myself, well, actually, and I've seen the comments on the message boards, we shouldn't be thinking too negatively. These are professional footballers. If they can't play football, don't say that you can do it. Give somebody else an opportunity to actually do it. I really don't think we'll be in this position in a couple of weeks.
I hope not.
I think we'll get that opportunity.
To be honest,
you've got to. Sorry, Mark, hang on. You've got to shape up so you've got to shape your team so you play strengths that you've got. And obviously, I appreciate that he doesn't know the squad yet, really. But like Mark just said, Meredith, if you don't know the squad, then don't fix anything that's not broke. We've scored 7 goals in 2 games prior to Saturday, so just leave it as it was and let them go again.
If he'd have done that, he wouldn't have been doing his job.
I have got my concerns though, the way we played, and if we're going to start tippy-tapping it around at the edge of our own penalty box, that just doesn't suit the players we've got. So
it's almost sorry, Paul. It's almost if he's done no research at all. I mean, just seeing that lineup straight away was just sickening. It's like going back 2 years. And I've got to say, I'm a big fan of Ruddy, but to see him come out after the game and say we were minutes away from a deserved point, I don't think we deserved a point at all.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to disagree with you, Craig. If we played like that in the Eustace, after loads of us, thousands of us went up for 3 hours, we then saw the team sheet. Literally, everyone was so deflated. No Miyoshi played him then on the wing. He's not a winger. I understand Bakuna not turning up. But to have Bilic, Gardner and Sunji, because you're 3 in the middle trying to create, is ridiculous. And I agree with Mark. He's done no homework on this. And the fact that Dembele, he was so high up, but he was more in instead of being like a winger. And we should have been 4-0 down at half time by a mile. We were getting absolutely battered. We were like, what are we watching? And it was like going back to the Zola years, the Cranky years, and all of this. And Cottrell, literally, it reminded me of Cottrell when we played Brentford and we lost 6-0 because we were trying to play it out from the back. And every time we tried to play it out, we were literally, they'll bring it on. If they had a class centre forward, we would have been 4-0 down at half time. Yeah. And every time they went forward, we were just going, what are we doing? First kick we had, long boots it up, and we were like, oh, no fear football, here we go. Sanderson's first pass to Ruddy went out. We were literally, it was ridiculous. And I know that we've got to pick up on the good points, and we have. Going forward, there's some really good things. We had a go. But he hasn't seen Hogan play. Well, now he has, so hopefully he's not starting on Wednesday. Because the thing is, if he loses all of these first 4 games, he's already got pressure on him already. He really needs to change it on tomorrow and on Saturday. They're two massive games for him.
Claire, you know at the end of the game on Saturday, when Rooney sort of didn't come over, he sort of stayed on the halfway line, didn't he? Or quite a distance?
So normally, obviously, Eustace would come over. The players did. They were kind of like, yeah. But he didn't come really close. Because I went to my mate. I said, he hasn't really come over. And he kind of stayed more towards the halfway.
What was the general feeling about that? Were people saying, like, what's he doing? You should at least come, how was the general feeling about it?
I mean, the atmosphere was quite flat. To be fair, I feel like, obviously, their songs about him, we ended up singing a song about Rooney back. So we've gotten, I don't think there's much respect, to be honest. I don't know. As soon as he came out, people chanted Rooney, Rooney. And the thing is during the warm-up, you had Rooney out there, O'Shea out there, Cole, everyone was there. The Rooney was there, but we don't know whether that was like a PR stunt, being like, yeah, look, just to show I'm here, then all of a sudden he went. But I don't know. There was just...
You think, can I just ask, sorry,
blues.
You think the death of Bobby Charlton might have had an impact on that?
I was just about to say that.
Obviously, as soon as that happened, he came over on the tannoy, and to be fair, the whole stadium clapped and sang his name. I do think it would have affected him, but at the same time, we were so being battered in more ways than one that I think the second half was going the same way as the first half anyway. I mean, they absolutely cut through us.
Let's give him a free hit there, I think, because he wasn't really with the squad long enough. And like you say, Ashley Cole and John O'Shea were only with the squad 5 minutes before the game, and we could all say what we would have done, but he didn't do it at the end of the day. He tried something else and it didn't work. So the way I'm at now is like, let's just move on. We'll get on to Wednesday, and hopefully it's better on Wednesday.
To be honest, Paul, I'm looking forward to Wednesday. In a weird sort of way, I'm looking forward to it because we know he's going to get a good ovation. It's not going to be a load of half-empty, half-hearted. I think he'll get a good when he comes down the tunnel, they will get a good ovation. And 3 points, a scrappy win, we could be fourth. So move on.
We're already seventh now.
The thing is with the thing up with his setup, and he's made it again. Going back to his post-match stuff, he's set himself up because he's told everybody how he wants his wing-backs to play. Now, going back to what Claire said with Dembele, obviously if he's going to play with his wing-backs so high, then he's going to have to play Dembele and Stansfield, whoever he plays on the left and right, tucked in as a narrow three, because he's got to give that space for the wing-backs to get in behind. So I can see his setup, and I can see why he's got Dembele and he's got Stansford in where they are. He's trying to play a really narrow three, and he's trying to now create the space for Dranham and man, I'm losing all my names today. Longello, trying to create space for those guys at the back, behind that. The problem we're going to have, and again, like I said, you can't play with wing-backs and with four at the back. If he sets that back up again on Wednesday, then he's already let everybody know what his idea is. So we're going to get the same again. We're going to get those fullbacks playing really high because that's what he's told them to do. And we're going to get caught out. So I think you're better off now bringing in an extra centre-half and going 5 at the back. And everybody's going to be annoyed about that as well because nobody's happy right now anyway. But it's going to really balance the team off, and then maybe we can get a bit more creativity in the middle and play forward. The biggest fear I have right now is that regardless of what we do going forward, we're going to get caught out every single time. In transition.
Yeah. There are positives. There were positives. Some of the play was brilliant. Going forward, it was like bang, 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 and all of a sudden we were up there. It just lacked through creativity. So we'll just see what happens Wednesday. I mean, next week we might have 2 wins, and then next Monday might be totally different. But I think it was just a shock of winning 3-1 and 4-1, and then all of a sudden, we go all the way there, and it was like, whoa, okay, this is not how we normally play. We're a bit worried here. I think that's the thing. It's the shock of it all and how bad we were defensively. But I think going forward, we weren't too bad. But I think I just hope that, you know, I know he's only had a week, but, you know, he's still got to do his job, even if he's had a day. Do you know what I mean? He's still got the same expectations.
What do we all think of Ruddy, the actual goal itself? Did they not think Ruddy should have saved that? Or do you think he was onside?
He'd always criticise any goal in a goal at his near post, but he was a bit unlucky. Was it slightly deflected?
Yeah, I think he was unlucky.
Yeah.
So
he should have been 6 inches closer to the post, then the ball would have hit him. But you know, I'll give the kid a bit of credit. That was a good finish. You know, he got in front of the keeper, nicked it in. You know, yes, we could have done a lot of things. We could have done a lot of things leading up to that. I mean, the two centre halves got in each other's way to start with, and as we've been saying, the two fullbacks hadn't crossed the halfway line by the time, you know, they started getting possession of the ball, and they were both. I mean, we hadn't got a left back when the bloke crossed it and the bloke nicked it in. So, but the one thing Claire's been on about seeing the team. I tell you, the first thing that struck me, the young legs have gone and the old legs are back. Hogan particularly, and obviously Gardner. The thing about our 2 wins, we had young legs, energy, pace, etc., 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 and we sacrificed that. Now, can somebody tell me whether Miyoshi was actually on international duty?
He wasn't.
I think I think he was. They beat Tunisia 2-0. I think he was.
He was. Okay. Yeah. So that explains that. I can understand that. But if I was doing the job, I'd say to Miyoshi, "What do you feel like, son?" Well, I can get. You know, I'll give you an hour. Right, go and give me an hour, and then we'll put the old legs on. They're only going to play 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You think part of it was
start with the old men.
I think part of it was that they were the people that he had seen, and also
I understand that as well. I
also say he was never ever going to set a team the same as Eustace, because had he have done that, it was totally against what the owners have asked him to do. Totally against it. It would have been. It'd have been like turning around and saying, "Oh yeah, well they got rid of one. I'll come in. I'm just going to do that this week." But then next week we'd have swapped over to what he was doing anyhow. So, in all honesty, going up to Middlesbrough, the most informed team in the league, going up there, playing against a team that, you know, are very hard to break down, very hard to beat at home, and then, you know, we haven't got a result, but we've got to look forwards. You know, I look forward to Wednesday, and I think there will be changes. His interview afterwards, there was 2 things that stood out for me in the interview afterwards. The guy was in shock after what had happened to Bobby Charlton. There was no doubt whatsoever, because he wasn't even talking like he normally does. He was having to be prompted an awful lot for the questions. So I think, you know, there was part of that involved. Secondly, well, we're slating the manager at the moment, but actually there's 11 players on that field. 11 players who, if they don't like the way that they're being set up and they think there is a better way to clear their lines, do it. Because a manager is not going to give you a roasting for preventing a goal if you think you're going to lose the ball and concede a goal. Right? It doesn't matter. He's not going to go out there and give them a tatering for just wellying that ball away and clearing the line in the last couple of minutes. It's a simple game, really. If you don't concede, you don't lose. So that's really, they've got to also stand up in a way, and some of the players have got to hold up accountability for the way it was. And yes, they might be in an awkward position, but do you always listen to your manager at work? If you think something else is going to be the right way to do it, you do it. Otherwise, you're just following suit. You become a follower all the time, and that's not a way that players progress. I'm not criticising every single player that was out there, because there were some people that turned up and tried to do what they were being asked to do. But at the end of the day, if you're uncomfortable, you've got to clear a ball, you welly it out no matter what. You clear your lines. If he goes in afterwards and then somebody goes you a tatering, but you've just saved yourself a goal and you've walked away with a point, you can almost stick your fingers up and go, we've got a point. We were not going to win it. We've got a point. And so the players as well have got to kind of hold up their hands and say, look, okay, we've made a mistake, and that might have been why they were so flat, Claire, when they came over afterwards. I don't think it's necessarily that they were upset over the way that they'd been asked to play. I think it was more disappointment at losing within literally the last 2 or 3 minutes. There was a deflection for the goal. You know, I can't blame Ruddy. However, he had an absolute stormer before that. So
I was about to say that, Craig. We went straight to the goal, but you know he's in team of the week for a good reason. And
Ruddy was outstanding. Absolutely, best performance in a Birmingham City shirt.
Yeah,
okay. He did have his one moment of when he went out and tried to do Gary Gardner's job by getting yellow cards and taking that play down. But I think he just probably had enough of passing the ball around to Sanderson and Long. But generally, I do think, you know, Ruddy was exceptional. Yes, okay, he probably could have done better with the goal, but he was phenomenal. He was probably best.
Ironically, that Ruddy was the obviously there's a lot of paper talk, but Ruddy was the first player mentioned by the press who was going to be replaced, and that was about Jack Butland's is coming up by Christmas, right? According to the press, and it's probably all nonsense, but Ruddy was the first and only one so far has been talked about being replaced, and he was the best player on Saturday. Now, was that motivation? If it is, well, tell we're going to get rid of them all, because he was sensational, and you know, I'd love to have Jack Butland back at the club, only because he's 31 and Ruddy's 38, but in form, there's nobody better. There's nobody better than Ruddy. You know, Jack Butland at this moment in time wouldn't be an improvement.
No. He's a good idea on Saturday, in my opinion. 4 or 5. You know, it could have been 3 or 4 at half time, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
I just wish he was 5 years younger, because honestly, he would have been one of the best goalies in our recent history.
I don't think he'd be playing for us, would he, Mark? To be honest.
No, probably not. But he's just top quality, isn't he? You know. Yeah. You can
see why he's been in England squads in the past, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Shall we move on to happiness?
Yeah, just
happiness.
Not all
women. Yes.
Not all doom and gloom. I mean, we're still 7th in the league. You know.
Yeah.
You would have taught that. Yeah.
You got Rooney and his coaching staff now getting a bit more time with the players, getting to know them a bit more, and you know, seeing what their strengths and weaknesses are, and hopefully he can adapt to a formation and tactics that suit the players that we've got. Because on Saturday that was far from it, and you know, I'll just put it down to him not knowing. You know, I mean, taking Dembele off for Burke for a start is like swapping a Rolls Royce for a skateboard, isn't it? From what I've seen in both players so far. You know,
that's a good one there.
Does somebody tell me what he's supposed to be doing?
No,
he comes up down the right hand side. He never crosses.
He's there for height.
Is he? Oh, okay.
He's there for height. So basically, when we needed to launch the ball, instead of bringing Jukovic on, he brings him on so he can launch the ball.
Right.
That's why he comes on.
And what happens when he's launched? Where does it go after he's hit?
He headers it towards our goal, not the other way.
Yeah. I'm just trying to work out his best position.
Don't get me started.
However, can we please go on to some positives and let's go on to the ladies, because I was there yesterday. It's good to meet up first of all. First time with Stephen Gill, so it's good to have a chat there. But you know, I said it on the show a few weeks ago. The ladies' team will play worse and win games than the game that I'd seen. And what I saw yesterday was a worse performance than the game I'd seen before, right, in terms of the way that they were. But everything they touched up front turned to gold. They were phenomenal yesterday moving forwards. Huge shout out for Lucy Quinn, because her crossing was sublime. The corners, everything was pinpoint. But the thing was as well, we've now gone with the past 3 games, 10 goals, and 9 different goal scorers. You know, it's a brilliant setup and record. And going forward yesterday, every time they were going forwards, they looked as though they could score. You know, I was lucky enough to, obviously the penalty, you know, I was filming anyhow, but I always caught the corners, because each time the corner was coming in, you just thought to yourself, do you know what, we're going to put this away. Something's going to happen. And it was brilliant. And what was also great was it was the Birmingham City Women's Supporters Group Day yesterday, where they encouraged more people to get down there and see more of the game, involving more families, more kids than ever before. There's even a little bit of banter between the kids. It was ace, you know, you got one side of the cop singing one song and the other side them arguing back and singing another one. So it was great for the kids to get involved. Daz Carter said himself afterwards, we've played worse. We played better and lost. And that's the one way I would sum it up. But they're on a run now. It's 4 games unbeaten in the league. We're looking good moving forwards. The new players are beginning to gel. But the thing I love the most is the way that they interact and they get involved with the fans. And after the game, it's a totally different atmosphere. You know, the ladies actually come into the stand, come and have a chat with all the fans that are still there. They sign different like posters and flags that are giving out. The photographs taken with all the kids. When I come out the ground, there was one particular player, and she was signing the shirt of this young lad, and he turned around and he says, "Thank you so much. That was my first ever game, but I'm coming back." And that was great to hear. And, you know, things are gradually turning around at St Andrews. Next game after the international break, another international break, it's unreal. But the next one then is at home. So it's November the 5th. And, you know, we want to see, again, more people down there to support and back and keep this run going, because we didn't have the best of starts. But, you know, there's nothing stopping us from carrying on now and moving up the league. 6th in the league now. Opportunities to move even further. And good to see. And more as well, when I got into the ground, it was lovely seeing the Tilton finished. And I know is it done?
Is it completely done?
Yeah, the whole bottom half of the Tilton's done. They've started putting the seats now as well into the cop at the bottom end. Excellent. Near the Tilton, and it's just so nice to see, because actually, sounds daft, but just seeing that bottom tier with the seats in makes you think, do you know what, we're getting the stadium back.
For Wednesday, Craig.
I don't know. I don't know whether they are opening it up fully for that, or whether now it'll just be a wait until the rest of the
they said they're waiting until they said they're still waiting for a safety
safety certificate.
Yeah. A bit soon, isn't it?
I mean, the other thing is, it's just it just makes it feel like a stadium again. It's hard to explain, but when I saw it, when I walked in and just seeing blues written across the bottom, it's like, yeah, we've got it back.
It's home again, yeah.
You know, home again is a good way to describe it. But that, like I say, you know, getting back to the ladies, we do need more people down there. There was just over 850, and Liv's just showed me a poster now that she got signed on the day. You know, this is typical of what they're giving out at every game. So you've always got a player. Or a couple of players on there, and then they encourage you to go out and get that signed afterwards, and the players do come round. There was just 862, I think, was the attendance.
That's not bad. That ain't bad.
Now,
that ain't bad.
Considering they're playing championship football and haven't been playing the best, it was good to get that number down there.
That's more than Gerrard's games, isn't it, in the Saudi Pro League?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Henderson's playing in front of less than that.
600, yeah.
And the other thing, you know, go back to it, 10,000 season ticket holders. Now, that's 10,000 people. They don't have to go, but that's 10,000 tickets that are available for every single home game for the ladies. So I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, and I'm not going to preach and say go and see it. But what I would say is, if you get an opportunity, and it's a family day, it really is more of a family day than going to watch the men. Because the way they set it up. Go down, give it a go. Even if it's one game in the season, it's great to see. And you know, the people turn up as well. Mike Wiseman was there with all of his family. You know, we had Hope Powell sitting right behind us. Paul, I was not too far from your seat in the area of the grounds. You know, it's just nice to be in and around. So yeah, let's bring it on the next game and let's get a few more people down there. And hopefully, we might look to arrange something for Tilton Talk maybe for one of the games, but we'll keep people posted on that.
Yeah, good stuff. But yeah, there's been going around today that we've apparently purchased a building next to Birmingham Wheels.
I saw that.
Yeah, I've seen some. Yeah, I've seen that
on Twitter.
I don't know how true that is, but
Which building? Which building?
I'm not sure exactly what building, Al, to be honest.
There's only the golf course next, the driving range next door, and the cricket pavilion. That's all that's there. The next building is a house at the far end of the ground.
Maybe that's what it is then. Maybe it's the house.
Are they buying up more land? I mean, the driving range is on its last legs when I was living there. So yeah, that's good news. I agree with the coach about the girls. I thought they should have been 6 or 7 up by half time, and then the opposition never got out their own half, and they missed chance after chance after chance, and then scored two good goals. Obviously, one was a penalty, and then repeated. So it was 3-0 up at half time. And I thought, well, yeah, that should be 6, but 3, you've got 40 minutes, it was only 1-0, and then suddenly it's 3. And I felt, quite happy with that. And then the second half was a 2-2 draw. And I thought, what are they doing? They've gone to sleep here. Two goals conceded, two good ones scored, and again, probably should have had 6 in the second half. And 5-2 looks like a great competitive game, but it wasn't. It wasn't really, was it?
No. Not much. Many people on the shout box, Chris.
It's been really been. There's been about 200 or 300 that we've missed.
I've got a few just in front of me at the moment, and so we've got Holly Williams. Fantastic support for the women. Couldn't agree more. We got Pete Taylor. If you watched women's football 5 years ago, you'd be amazed at how much it has improved.
Yeah,
I think that's a great point. We've also got Stephen Cole. What's the deal with what looks like a double stairway on the Tilton?
What's that? What's all about?
Yeah, this is it is interesting actually, because my daughter pointed it out yesterday as well. So when you do come into the bottom half now of the Tilton, there is actually a double stairway coming down. So you're stepping down off the middle tier, and then it does angle out coming either side.
Right.
And also, 2 things stood out for me, and my daughter as well. It just really didn't look right. The E in the Blues. There's a walkway between the edge of the E and the rest of the E, and it's part of that angled walk down. So it's actually separated out, and then the opposite side you've got exactly the same. So it is a strange setup. I'm not going to lie, it does look pretty weird, but I'm putting it down to the fact of the safe standing side of it, and perhaps it's to do with that.
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it?
Could be. Yeah.
No idea, but no, I look forward to seeing that.
Jar of BCFC has said, I was sent a message today. It states we have bought, which looks like a factory next to Birmingham Wheels.
Birmingham Wheels. Oh.
That's definitely going to happen.
Oh, it's definitely
they are doing so much in the background that we don't know about.
I think that's why he was so disappointed with the H2.
Yeah,
definitely.
Let's be honest though, Chris. How many clubs we've said it before, how many clubs in our league have had to leave their traditional home?
Yeah.
It's half the league, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's a horrible thing, for the diehards.
It's sad and it's horrible.
It is sad, but things move on, don't they? We all move on.
Do you? Because I heard a few people saying like some people are getting a little bit worried about losing our identity a little bit, because of obviously all the changes and things like that. I did hear a few people at the weekend going, is it becoming more like a business, which we totally understand, but is it going too far too quickly? I don't know if anyone's got anything they want to say.
To be honest, Charles,
we've waited 150 years.
Let's not forget what we were before they took over, obviously.
I know. I was just saying what I heard people say, that's all.
Yeah. We had no identity whatsoever before, did we? Really?
Yeah.
I say it's not a bad thing to have a new identity. Let's get away from
I think we need one.
Oh, we need it.
I think it's football in general, though, isn't it?
The sleeping giant, etc., etc. This should be a big club, etc., etc., etc. Let's be a big club. Let's not be a sleeping giant. Just be a giant.
Yeah, be a giant.
So I'm right behind that. And I'm getting old. I'd like to live long enough to see us in a 50,000 seater stadium, wherever it is.
Yeah.
I can remember the days of standing on the Kop, in the cold and the rain with a piddle running down past your shins. It wasn't anything glamorous about it. Everybody says, "Oh, the good old days." Well, it wasn't that good. When we rebuilt the stadium, that was good. That was excellent. We started to look like a proper football club, but unfortunately, we fell into the wrong hands, and that fell apart. And now it's being rebuilt again. And that's, I've only been to one game this year at St Andrews, and even with the Kop still in needing a lot of work, there was a feeling that, hey, we've turned the corner. This is being rebuilt now. We're not just staring at building sites. We're looking at something that has changed over the summer. It looks like it's being worked on, and that made me feel much happier that we're now doing it. There was a lot of talk about, we'll have this done and that done, and okay, this has been delayed, but it's actually happening. You can, I spent most of the time watching the girls yesterday on the telly, and I couldn't wait till the ball went down to Tilton so I could see how much work had been done. I was concentrating on that most of the time, and then it went down to the halfway line, and I'm trying to see how many levels of concrete we now put in ready for the seats, and there's still a couple left, but it does feel like things are changing, and one day soon we'll move out of there, and there'll be a big pole somewhere in the middle of a shopping centre saying, this is a centre circle at St Andrews, and a shrine.
To be honest, Al, a lot of the people are saying, we've spent money on the ground now, but that's peanuts to the Americans.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's not a massive outlay.
No.
It was the previous owners that spent that money, wasn't it, on the stadium?
Yeah. But I'm saying with the LCD lighting and all the rest of it, it's not a massive outlay, really, is it?
No, not really. No.
And I think we need to move. I do think to take us forwards, we do need a new stadium. As much as I don't want to move away from stadium.
No, it'd be heartbreaking.
Not the place, but if somebody was to offer us the opportunity to move to a state-of-the-art stadium with facilities that is working for everybody, with lights that aren't going to fall down in the Tilton, with, all these different things, a main stand where the roof is still made of corrugated iron, and then everything else, we're going to snap the hands off. And just on the point around the sale, right, I have just looked up what all this is about, and I can say that there was a Watling Real Estate has sold Medco House, which is in Bordesley Green and adjacent to the council-owned Wheels redevelopment site, for more than $5 million, which was the guide price weeks after it came onto the market. All it says is that they've achieved offers over $5 million, and the price has achieved through being reflective of the strong pent-up demand for freehold industrial premises across the region. So that's all it talks about. It actually happened prior to today. So it looks as though this actually occurred towards the middle of the month. But so there's definitely a sale that's gone on, and I think it's there's no smoke without fire. I think there is an interest in moving across to there, and I tell you what, if our owners want to build us a new stadium, they want us to have this development that's going to work for other areas and ultimately create income for the club, which is what it will do. I'm all in favour. And I did read something the other day, a rumour that was saying that we'd have a stadium and actually it'd be a part franchise with American football teams based in and around the Midlands. Okay, brilliant. You can see the linkage straight off. Yeah. It could all be just talk. But again, if that means it's additional money coming in, when we're not playing football, there is somebody else using that stadium. That's revenue which is coming into the business, which we can then spend. We can't do that today.
No. And like you say, Craig, they're looking at probably a 7-day-a-week stadium. It's not going to be.
Of course, yeah.
But the businessmen, would you rather have the main stand, knocked down completely by them houses behind the main stand and have it completely rebuilt into, like, say, a stand that suits the rest of the stadium?
They can't knock them down. They can't knock them down now. They're great too, aren't they?
That was the issue we had. That's the issue we had from the start, was them being listed buildings. We couldn't do anything with it. So, on the future, obviously talking about the future of the club and going back to results, I think the under 23's got another good result.
Yeah, another great result. Dixon for me is going to get his chance under Rooney. I think he's going to be looking at it now and. Going back to the weekend, Hogan didn't do himself any favours, but if Rooney is watching that kid and, he's got people watching over what's happening, there is no reason why he's not going to be. I don't think he's going to be a starter, but he's a bench player for me, and I think he
likes Donovan as well.
Yeah.
Donovan, he's always got a picture with Donovan.
Just going back to the ground, MZA King on YouTube says, whatever happens, I want to see the ground as part of the Birmingham skyline. Andy says, as long as we're not 5 miles from the pitch, that'd be horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
West Ham.
Oh, yeah, we don't have.
That's the biggest issue now, is that they're the new sort of stadiums, aren't they?
Yeah.
I haven't been to the new Spurs one. My mum and dad have been to watch the NFL there, but again, it's a beautiful stadium, but it's nothing like White Hart Lane when you go as a football fan. That's the thing.
I think with the Blues as well, I think hopefully when we all get everybody back, they'll realise how intimidating we can be by being, when remember the Villa days where you had like the Tilton and the Cup and we were throwing the things on the pitch and things like that. That is Blues, being intimidating, making it a fortress. If we're miles away, it's pointless.
Yeah.
Newcastle away and springs to mind.
The gods.
I've been there a couple of times, and it reminds me of the old football game, sensible soccer.
I'm still trying to climb the stairs from when we were in the Premier League.
I'm sure from the top of that stand at Newcastle, you can see Norway.
Tremendous.
Great day as well when I went there. It's exactly 20 years ago, more or less. It was when David Dunn scored the penalty off the
I was at that one as well. Yeah,
when Robbie Savage got the elbow in his face off the ref.
Do you know there's 5-1 in the cup? There's the lift you can use. Did you know there's the lift you can use to get to the top of there?
Yeah,
there is.
Yeah, you can get a lift. There is a lift. Stair lift.
You go to the man on the lift and say, I'm 700 years old. I got a bad back. Blah blah blah, and you go to get in, and all your mates follow you.
Mate, we're going with Alan next time then.
I think there's one. Isn't the one in the Gilmerick that worked for the first week when it was built?
Yeah. There's still people stuck in there, I heard. It's a rumor.
Somebody's still on it, yeah.
Right, let's, what we got next, Craig? So we got squad number game, have we?
So, yeah, I think last week when I did the squad number game and the higher or lower with goal scoring, it actually went down quite well. So I've done the same for this week. And again, we want people's involvement on the shout box. As well as the rest of the team. So I I'm gonna also though make it a little bit more interesting with this one, because for the year that I've got, there's an interesting fact, and I want to see if knowledge is that good that they know this fact. But as well as goal scoring, I'm going to open it up to yellow cards.
Oh, wow.
So really, really going to go down the middle this time around. So
you've had too much time on your hands today.
So well,
yeah, you've been at work today, Craig.
Yeah, you can tell he works from home, can't you?
Too easy for Paul and Mark. So and Mark Meredith, that is, because Mark Adams, well, we just know he's not very clever.
Yeah, he's not very clever. No. It's from Coventry.
Dad's about to see, proves the point. Can't even get his words out. So the season we're going for is 2007-2008.
Okay. That was the season Bruce left, wasn't it, in the Christmas and
it was indeed.
Yeah.
It was indeed. And the squad number that I want to start off with,
yeah,
there's actually two. So it's the first one is number 19.
Zarate.
See, you started.
Give us a chance.
I mean, give it to the fans and the viewers watching. You know what I mean?
I think Paul was just swearing there out loud.
That was, wasn't it? Sorry.
I think it was Zarate, Craig.
Yeah, I think it was Zarate.
Yes, you are right, Mark. Zarate was one of them.
Was it Zarate?
And funnily enough, it was Zarate.
Oh, thank God. Got one right.
So what's the other number 19? But also, I want to add in there number 14. And again, there were two people that had the number 14 shirt or squad number.
David Murphy was one.
Yeah.
Wasn't Capo, was it?
I know who the other 19 is, but should we let people have a chance?
I know the other 19 as well.
Yeah.
Anybody
know the other 19? How many games did he play?
Tumbleweed. Let's just leave it to.
I'm wondering if I'm right now.
Right. Okay.
Because I've got my phone on something else. Is there anything coming from the message board?
Just Michael said Zarate as well. So.
Yeah. Ian Clayton was saying
is one of them, and Zarate played 6 games, 8 when you account for those when he came off the bench, and he actually scored 4 goals in the league for that particular season as well.
Yeah. I can still see Radhi Joidi doing his little dance in front of the keeper for his free kick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a good player when he's Zarate. He was unlucky to go down that season.
Ian Clayton says goalkeeper. I can't think of his name. That narrows it down.
No, it wasn't a goalkeeper.
Okay.
It was. I would say it's. I'm going to say who it was. The 19. Am I allowed?
Hang on a bit. Let's go through. So we've had Nafty, haven't we? Vine, McCarthy. No.
Who said Vine?
Sorry.
Arthur.
Who said Vine?
Dozer.
Dozer would be correct.
Whoa.
Rowan Vine, yeah.
Rowan Vine.
Is that what you're going to say, Mark? Is that what you're going to say?
Oh, Giroud was the other 19.
Rowan.
Oh right, okay.
What Quincy? What Quincy?
Giroud came on loan and he played 19. He played about 12 to about 12 games for us that season.
Wrong number.
Can I say Quincy?
You've said it.
No, you did. The 2 19s are Zarate and Vine, but who is the other 14?
What number was Giroud then?
Who was 19? He was 19, I'm sure.
Giroud was 16.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah.
But funnily enough, we had another number 16 in that season as well. So let's make it interesting. Who was the other number 16?
Giroud.
Capo.
No, he was 11.
Capo was later than that.
Oh no, he was 20. No, Capo was 23, wasn't it?
Capo was 23.
That was 23.
Number 14 number 14 that season. It wasn't Derrida, was it?
Dwight York.
Derrida was number 20.
Robbie Blake, McFadden, Dwight York.
McFadden, innit?
McFadden's your other 16. Yes.
Oh, right, okay. Well done, Steve Job.
Number 14.
Number 14. Who was the other 14? So we've mentioned David Murphy.
So it was Murphy came in that season. So it's whoever left that season before Murphy came in, wasn't it? Who had the number at the start of that season?
Wasn't Damian Johnson, was it?
No, he was 22.
Anderson?
What position, Craig?
Midfielder.
Midfielder would have left the year before.
No, midfielder.
Someone obvious.
McSheffrey.
No, it's not McSheffrey.
Beaujejour says
11.
Lilypad. Beaujejour, no?
No, it's not Beaujejour.
No, before him.
Oh, God, I like this one. I'm getting you proper stumped on this one.
Dans.
It's Fahy.
Has he got a French name? Has he got a Frenchish name?
It's not Neil Dans.
No, he hasn't got a French name.
Nafty.
Oh, okay.
It's not Nafty, no.
Is he foreign?
Yes.
Okay.
Narrows it down.
Who?
The Dan.
There's 7 billion people that are not English.
Wasn't Raphael Schmitz, was it?
No.
He was 5.
But he was bad, wasn't he?
Parnaby? Parnaby
says
Brits. Parnaby says Brits.
No, not Parnaby.
DJ Campbell says that's a bit too early, I think.
Was it the French left back?
No.
Was he a foreigner? Was he not
He was
British?
a foreigner.
Ah, right. Okay.
And I'll make it not easier, but I'll tell you, he wasn't European.
Was he Australian?
He wasn't European.
Wasn't European.
Diani, no?
No.
Was he?
Steve Cale's put Palacios.
It's not Palacios, no.
That's a good effort, that is.
Okay. Wasn't a good effort.
Costly? No, not Costly.
Ooh, it's got a few people
before.
I'm going to leave it open on the board and get you guys thinking about it for a wee while longer.
Wasn't Kilkenny, was it?
Kilkenny.
It was Neil Kilkenny.
Oh, was it? Okay. Well done, Does up.
Well done, Does. I'm not taking credit for that one because Does said
Neil.
That's two on the go for Does. That's good knowledge. That is well done on that.
He's quick on Google.
I think Does has got to take me on squad game and come on.
We need to rearrange that.
We do need to
put on Sky with the weigh-in.
He's not European.
He's Australian.
Where's Kenny from then? He's Irish, isn't he?
He's
Australian. He's Australian.
Yeah. I'm just going to be quiet in the background. Getting on with it.
I think you and Alan just ought to shut up. I think.
Well, I wasn't born then.
Kilkenny from America. Any mark? He's off South Park.
Who?
Kilkenny.
So there was a really interesting fact about that particular season. And I can tell you that it happened in the September of that season. So really testing people's knowledge now. Can anybody tell me what the fact was?
September 2007.
Yeah.
We went unbeaten.
Oh.
That'd be silly.
Highest placing.
It was probably my first home game as a married man.
Yeah.
I was leaving secondary school.
I think that was the last time I had any friends.
Is that when we lost? Is that when we lost 8-0 to Bournemouth at home?
Nah, that was
after that.
That was like 12-13, wasn't it?
Yeah.
September. What was? Say it again, Craig. What was the question?
So in September of 2007, there is an interesting fact around. Or without giving too much away, it's around a particular game that happened in 2007 and an interesting fact about what happened at that particular game.
And it was Blues.
Yeah.
Was it home or away?
This was don't know actually.
It wasn't when Bruce we had a penalty against Wigan and Brucey went and he's in the toilet.
No. What I can say is, had this have happened, it would have created club history that would still stand today.
So it didn't happen.
Ooh.
Didn't happen. Something didn't happen.
God, this better be good.
Yeah, this is great.
Something didn't happen.
Good knowledge.
Something that happened in September that didn't happen.
We might run till our base.
No.
It did happen. It would have happened.
Seriously.
So,
I didn't have a bucket then.
no, you're right. So what this thing that happened, stroke didn't happen,
For God's sake.
was 2 hours. 2 hours prior to a game, something happened that stopped history being set. What was it?
But it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
They almost sold out of Balti Pies.
Well, we can mention Balti Pies today. So, no, in all
I'm
seriousness,
so intrigued.
yeah. So something should have happened that didn't, that would have created history that would have still stood today. What was it?
Oh, crikey.
If it hadn't happened, it would have made history, but it didn't.
It didn't happen.
It hasn't.
Yeah. Luckily, it didn't happen.
Was it? And he says before a game.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
it wasn't the Shed's debut, was it? And then it was carried off the pitch.
Nigel Mann said it was a pucker pie that was served hot.
Did you have hot water in the toilet?
Oh, crikey.
Was that when we had the crossbar challenge and Colin Doyle hit the crossbar or something? I remember that. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
So why would that make history?
Exactly, yeah.
Only person ever to do it at St Andrews.
But it didn't happen. But it did happen, because if it did happen, there was a bit of history. But it didn't happen, so there's no history about it.
But he didn't do it at both ends. He only did it at one end. So if he'd done it at the other end, it would have happened. It would have created history.
Craig, who was it involved? Like Blues and who else?
It was the game, and it was a League Cup 4-frame tie against Blackburn.
Oh, yes,
Hang
I know.
Was it to do with the fan running on the pitch?
Christian Pearce was picked to play in the game, and the FA, the Football League, said because he's only 15, he couldn't play.
Wrong name. Right knowledge, wrong name.
Ooh.
That was Much.
It's been picky now.
Jordan
It's
Much,
been
maybe?
picky now. Because
It was Jordan Much.
I remember it now. Yeah.
Jordan Much was actually picked. And we obtained confirmation from the Premier League that he could play in that game. It would have made him just 15 years old at the time. However, the FA, under a ruling for child protection, wouldn't allow him to play.
Really?
Wow.
So, who played or who was in the squad instead?
Oh, was it Enric Valles?
No.
Raphael?
Who?
I remember it.
Wasn't it Enric Valles? You remember him, Paul, don't you?
Yeah.
Paul knows everybody.
Was it Michel?
Michelle, yeah.
No.
Nah.
Nick's
No, it
ball.
wasn't it. Nick's cat.
I remember that game well.
Nick's cat got a debut.
Goalkeeper, what was his name? Richard, the
Kingston.
black guy.
Kingston.
Richard Kingston.
He got smashed against the post by the Blackburn centre half. Smashed against the post.
And knocked out.
And knocked out Cole. They got him round. He came out to take the goal kick and he fell flat on his face and they carried him off. And the bloke that hit him, I can't remember his name, he was massive. Never got booked, let alone sent off. And we lost. Doyle came on in goal, and I think we lost 3-0 in the end. But I do remember, and it was peeing down my rain. I remember that as well.
This player that played instead of Jordan Much, did he play much for us?
Was it much ado about nothing?
Doing jokes, Craven. I don't mean to.
Was it Dan?
No, the player that was named on the bench didn't actually get onto the field.
So he didn't play then.
He didn't play. He didn't play. He didn't get on the field.
If he'd have played, it'd have been a record.
But we had to name him in the squad, and we had to have special dispensation to name him in the squad.
Did he ever play for us?
Did he play
one
eventually?
game?
I reckon it was that. I know who it was. It was the guy that he was played for the reserves. He wasn't even registered for Blues, and they brought him in. Howland, maybe his name was. Great
knowledge, Mr. Meredith. You are. That's either brilliant knowledge or you're googling it.
I don't have any. I have a flag. I'm just me flagging.
You was there, weren't you, mate? You was at the club then, weren't you, mate? That's how you was there.
You know what? I actually drove much to the game. I drove much to the game that night.
Oh, yeah.
Did he say much?
Not much.
No more much jokes. No more much jokes. I don't care how much you like him.
Do we want to do goal scoring on this then and see if they scored much
Go
goals?
on, man.
Hey, it's 9 o'clock already.
Have you got any mementos, Mark? A few days at Blues?
He hasn't got much. No, sure.
See, I'll turn my camera off now. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
So I've already given you Marizarati scoring 4 goals. That was his league total for that particular season. So my first player within is it more, less, or the same? Beans you complained last week, Claire. Is James McFadden.
More.
Well, I don't know. He only signed halfway through that season, so I reckon that could be lower. He took penalties though, didn't he? As well.
Penalties and free kicks.
We don't get penalties though, do we? We wouldn't have got any more than 2 penalties in 6 months.
We got one against Arsenal.
Eh?
When we played for 97 minutes with 10 men against Arsenal, drew 2-2. He scored both that day. Penalty and free.
He did, and he scored against Newcastle as well. I'm not sure if that was his debut.
And Man City. He scored Man City as well.
Yeah.
You know, so that's 4.
Yeah.
Higher then.
Higher.
More, higher.
He actually scored the same. It was 4 goals.
Oh, so the game again is more, less, or the same.
Or the same.
God.
And the next one is Olivia Capo. More or less?
Definitely.
Scored against Chelsea.
Or the same.
Yeah, that was a great goal.
Scored against Bolton. Scored
Wigan.
against...
I'd say more, just about.
Penalty against Wigan.
I'd
say less.
I reckon he got 3. I'm going lower.
I reckon he got 5.
3.
For a change, Mark Adams has got something right. He actually did score 5 goals, so he was 1 up.
Good guess.
On all of those. Next one, Cameron Jerome.
More, surely.
Hey, he got
more than, yeah, he got more than 5, surely.
6 or 7.
More surely, he got 6.
Yeah.
7.
You're that confident he got more. He got 1 more than him.
Well, this is what Craig does. He just randomly does 1 more or like 1
I'm going with the flow of higher, lower, all the
12 goals, do we? Whenever do we get 12 or 15?
Go on in, Claire. Cameron Jerome. More or less?
More.
Obviously.
More.
I think he got the same.
Are we all going more or are we going the same? We're going there.
I'm going less. I'm going less.
I'm going more. I'll say more.
Please be right.
It was more. He scored 7 goals.
I'll give up.
Oh, Clay, so close.
Oh, useless.
He missed loads.
He missed more though, yeah.
It's 45.
Next one is Fabrice Mwamba.
Oh, he didn't score many, did he?
No, we never.
Less.
I think he scored about 2, didn't he?
He got less than 7. Sure.
Definitely got
less. 3.
Less.
I think more.
He scored 2 on the last day, didn't he? Even went down.
It's Blackburn, yeah.
Yeah. But I still reckon he didn't get many. I reckon about 3.
He actually only scored 2 in the league.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I'm definitely
so it was less. And penultimate one is Sebastian Larson.
Oh, Seb.
More.
More.
It's got to be more.
More than 7 or more than 2?
He definitely got goal of the
2, Mark.
If it's not
He definitely
more,
got goal of the season.
I'll be very disappointed.
Yeah. It's got to be more.
Yeah, he did.
Is that when he scored against Spurs at White Hart Lane? Is that season?
Yeah, that goal.
He scored a free kick at home against Liverpool and Tottenham. We beat Tottenham 4 that season.
Yeah.
Forsell got that trick, didn't he? And Larson got the other one.
Yeah, and then he got
the one at Spurs.
Yeah, definitely more. Right?
Yeah, a lot more.
It was more. He did get 6 goals, so that was all of them.
Yeah.
I've got
name them all.
Because I know we just got all the goal scorers from that season, near enough. Gary McSheffrey, just one to put out there. How many do you think he scored in that season?
He took a few
or something.
14 or something, I think.
I think it was top scorer, wasn't it?
Yeah, 0708, Gary McSheffrey, he made 24 appearances, 8 of those from the bench.
Wow.
He scored 17 the year before, didn't he? When we got promoted, but I don't think he scored any the year after.
No, he did. He did get some in the. He got the penalty at Tottenham in McLeish's first game.
Yeah.
He got a penalty. I'm sure he got a penalty at home against somebody as well. I would say he got about 4 that season, maybe.
I'll go for 5.
That
I said 12.
you said 12.
12.
I reckon 1.
Mark, Meredith.
I changed. I was going more, but I think he only got 1 or 2 in that season. I'm with Mark.
Mr. Chairman.
Pardon? How many am I going?
Yeah, how many are you going with? Gary McSheffrey that season?
3.
He only scored about 16 altogether, right? In his time at the club.
Yeah.
He actually did score 3 goals that season.
Oh, well done.
That was his total. Player, I'm impressed with the 12. We did get one player on the team that got double figures that season in the league.
I was just hoping and praying, like I always do.
Now, before we go into the last 15, we asked last week about our top 5 ever managers, didn't we? And God bless him, Terry Cooper got 5th, as per voted by our live viewers. And I'd like our live viewers to vote for the same. But this time, obviously, it's number 4. So who's going to be our 4th all-time greatest manager? Should we have opinions in here?
Barry Fry.
4th, you got to,
Trevor Francis in my lifetime.
Yeah,
I think Barry Fry. I love Barry, but yeah, I'll go with Mark 4.
I'll probably go for Houghton.
Houghton 4th.
I'd echo Houghton 4th.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure.
I think so. I think there's a couple ahead of Houghton. I think I'd go for. So that's what I'm saying.
We go number 1 first. Number 1 down, and then we'll know.
Yeah.
We're coming across on the message board whilst we're thinking of the others. So Ian Clayton has said Barry Fry.
I'd say Barry.
Ward McLeish. Lilypad has said Francis. Nigel Mann has said Monk. Ray Hobro, Jim Smith. Trevor Marley. Bruce, so we've from all the ones coming from the board, we've not had one the same yet. There we go. Just as I say that, Brett Stanley has also said Jim Smith. Somebody called Dennis Bahima. Does anybody know?
Yeah, he's an idiot. Ignore him.
He said Jim Smith as well.
His answer to Craig's question made me laugh. The thing that could have happened but didn't happen, it was that Chris bought his last pint.
Chris bought a beer at the game.
That's spot on, that is spot on. BCFC Ireland on YouTube says Steve Bruce as well. So it's a few for Bruce, actually, there.
Dozer has said Cooper. He was in last week.
He was last week, Doz. Yeah, he was 5th. He was voted 5th last week. But yeah, we're in the last 15 anyway.
We certainly are.
Got to it.
Okay. So, sorry, say that again, Craig.
We are just into the last 15.
Okay. So we enter in the last 15, and this week he said anything to do with football and sweets. So not chocolate.
Not chocolate.
Not allowed chocolate.
No hotter chocolate.
Sweets. So it's sweets.
Freddie Lundberg.
Like it?
Freddie Lundberg.
Yeah.
Are we having mints?
You can have mints as long as you don't say Polo.
Oh.
And
well, can I have Treeball Francis?
I'll start off with.
I don't know if we should accept Treeball, because I think Treeball is a brand as well, rather than actually a mint.
Oh, you worse than Bar.
Yeah, I'll start us off with Zola cubes.
That's a good one. What about Chewy Donowa?
Yeah, that works.
Few on the message board. We've had Sherbert Chapman, Blackjack Butland. Liking that, Greg Barlow, Haribo Maguire. Mick Graves has said Scott Minto, Paul McCarthy, Andy Cola Q. Wayne Monarchs has said Haribo Redknapp. We've had Jason Swizzle from Brett Stanley. Jason Hughes has said 10 pence a mix Upson. Like that as well.
Can you have Polo Torre?
No, Polo
Torre.
if we're allowing mints, that's fine, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a sweet.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Bert Murray mint from Mike Hill.
Very good.
Peter Unlove Hearts.
I like that.
From
That's
Sam
good.
Bullet. Haribo Winks from Robert Carroll.
That's a good one.
Giving people too much.
Fruit salad. So the fruit salads.
Yeah.
God, he used to
Steve Job has come up with the first one to do with Dealey, and he has gone with Dealey had a wine gum.
Doesn't beat
we're giving people too much to think about here, because we've asked them to pick their 4 favourite ever manager and go with sweets and football at the same time.
Yeah.
We had a couple of Barry Fry ones through whilst that's been happening as well. So I think Jim Smith, Barry Fry at the moment are equal as far as the votes are concerned.
Deli Tots.
Yeah, I think Jim
Tom
Smith
Cavanagh's
is
gone with
just ahead.
Love
there.
Hearts.
Yeah.
Has anyone said Lolly Burke?
No one said Dilly had a bowl of sweets.
Yes, Starburst.
Yeah.
Wayne Monarchs has said Barry fried eggs.
Off-grid Madman says Mark over Mars bar. Mark over Mars bar.
Chocolate bar.
Mark, what was the last Blues game you was at, mate?
I leave 2014.
Really?
2014 was when I left to come here, so it would have been, I can't even remember the game, but it would have been, I left in December, so it would have been the weekend before I left.
Okay.
Okay. Probably lost.
I've just got to put out there, Friday night, we're looking forward to it, Mr. Hipkiss, our first Tilton Talk questions and answers session with association with EA Promotions. It's going to be a great one.
It's going to be a good night.
It is indeed. So we've got Jerry Gill, Darren Purse, Marcelo, and we've also got
Donna.
Thank you, Danny Sonner. So it's going to be a great night. There are still a few tickets available if people are interested, and also on the evening there will be some special guests at St Andrews as well. So it's looking forward to that. It's going to be a really good night.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to making my debut as a compare as well.
Yeah.
You'll be good.
Come on.
I know. Don't pull funny faces at me, will you?
Like that one.
Really counting how many times you say just for anybody that is going, before anybody asks, yes, we have banned Mark Andrew Adams from asking the question around memorabilia.
Yep.
We've also banned him from ensuring that he doesn't get any Instagram accounts for any of the wives or girlfriends on the night.
Yeah.
And we will be keeping an eye on him.
And nobody called Colleen either. You're not allowed.
Stephen Carburst.
This is outrageous.
Is this going to be? Is going to be watchable online?
Nah. Sure.
Why not?
Could be. For the American viewers.
Not allowed.
I'll FaceTime you, Mark, somewhere and I'll put it on for you.
Don't tell them that.
You're not allowed to record anything.
Am I allowed to mix with you lot? Oh, got a cordoned off seat.
No, we've told you already. There's a special security guard called Escobar who's going to be there waiting for you. So you're going nowhere, mate.
You made him sound like a Bond villain.
There's only one person that's going to be mixing there, Mark, and that's the DJ.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Craig says something. Is the dress code still a bag on your head or something? That's what you told me, Craig.
In your case, it's a potato sack now. It's thicker, so we can't get through it. So
I want to go Stephen Carburst. You guys are listening.
Like it, yeah. It's fancy dress, isn't it, Craig? Craig, is it fancy dress on Friday?
Well, for Mark, it will be. He hasn't got a... Mind you, you're not wearing your prison outfit, are you? Don't forget your tag. All right. Lucas Duke Chewitz has come through from Pete Taylor.
That's a great one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mick Greaves has said just simply the Toffees, because that's Everton.
What about Framebone drops?
Hang on, a Toffees, that's sweets or chocolate?
Toffees sweet, yeah.
Borderline that is, man.
How about
that chocolate on it, then, yeah, but if it's just a toffee, then no.
Just a sweet, is it? Toffee?
Yeah, I can eat that.
How about Devo Suka?
Yeah.
That's what we used to call sweets when I was a little lad. Sucks.
Okay.
Sucks.
I think I'll have a tree ball mint.
Hey.
What about drama violets?
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. Drama violets, yeah.
Tree ball Lingala. Didn't he used to play?
Yeah. Done tight. Nails. Yeah, hard as nails he was.
Off-grid has gone for Rowan Pineapple Cubies. Tic Tac Grillish. I think he's been on the beard himself. He said he's trying his best.
I've also had Sherbert Troutman.
Sherbert Troutman.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's Carlton Palmer Violets is a good one as well. Like
it is indeed.
Yeah, that's very good.
My little Liv has come up with Fruit Ella Tune. Claire, she thought you'd appreciate that one.
Well done. I'm really proud of her.
And instead of Marcello, I'm going for Marshmallow.
Oh, I like it.
It's a good one.
What about you remember Nigel Quasi?
Oh yeah.
About drumstick quasis instead of squashes.
I like them as well.
Yeah.
I do like them.
Love them.
Great in the barrel here.
Old Mark, isn't they?
Blackjack's Magoma. I do love.
Could be in the fridge though, Mark. Yeah.
We're in the fridge, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, bought some from England for me. I got them in the fridge now.
Yeah, they've got to be in the fridge.
Actually, you mentioned Magoma. It's his birthday today, Jacques. So if he's watching, happy birthday, Mags. Great servant for us.
Do you reckon he's watching the 5 to 8 on his
That has to be the worst shout out.
What did you done birthday? Watch the Tilton Talk show.
8 o'clock on my birthday night. I'm watching the show.
No, you know what? He might watch on catch up. It's in case he's watching it tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, that's right.
You're a day later.
Happy birthday for yesterday,
yeah.
Happy birthday, yeah.
But it might not happen.
Whenever you watch this, that's fine.
That was another one of them things that nearly happened. That didn't happen.
It didn't happen. Nearly happened.
I like that one.
That's
Job.
a good
Stan
one.
Lollymore.
Stan Lollymore. I like that one. Do like that. Very clever. Popping Candy Coal. Cadbury's Caramel Leaves. Sam Fruit Salad Ice. Come on, that's a
that was good. I was as well.
Well done.
What about Toffee Bowyer? Jelly babies.
Mickerish Harford.
What about the Blues fans when we go chew?
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Okay, then predictions for the next game. Then I think.
On that point, we'll just disappear off that mark.
Yeah.
Can we mute him, please?
Yeah, I'm going to cut that one out in the podcast anyway.
Prediction for it's hard to predict now, isn't it?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go
on. I think we're going to scrape a 1-0. I think we'll win 1-0 on Wednesday.
I hope you're right. Alan,
1-1.
1-1. Claire.
1-1 for me.
I'm going to give our new manager the benefit of the doubt. He's going to wake up and smell the coffee and put the youngsters in and put the pace in and play like we did a fortnight ago, and we will win 2-0 comfortably, maybe more, but I'll say 2.
Alan, what are you rolling up there?
He's definitely been smoking it with that one.
I thought it was a syringe. I did. To keep him going for the last 10 minutes.
I was going to write the answers down but too slow.
I'll go 2-1.
I'll go 2-1. Will play Saturday.
Yes.
But yeah, probably score as well. But hopefully it's 4-0 to us when he scores.
I'm going to go 1-0 to Blues on Wednesday. I think we'll scrape it.
Yeah,
I do.
The message boards, we got Dave Twine said 6-0. So whatever the chairman has been rolling, Dave's definitely been smoking.
I've got the thong ready.
Michael Wood has said 3-0 to Blues. Michael Woods, Hull to win 4-0.
Wow.
Stephen Cale has said 1-1. Ian Clayton has gone 3-0 to Blues. Nigel Mann says 4-0 to Blues and Hogan to score a hat-trick.
He's doing exactly what
they're all smoking Allen's happy five.
Brett Stanley has said he agrees with you, Mr. Chairman. He's going for 2-0. Jarv BCFC is saying 2-1 to Blues.
It's hard to vote with your head in it and not your heart, but Saturday I think we probably will lose there. Saturday.
I think 1-0. I think we'll lose 1-0 Saturday.
If we lose the next 2 games, it's going to be horrible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be
I
back to
think
square
we'll
one.
lose 2-0 Saturday.
It's going to be
Any
horrible.
game, any-
Really,
if we do
but it's going to be
1-3-1.
horrible, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
Are you going Friday night, Claire?
I'm going Friday night, and then I'm getting up I'm leaving the house at 7:30 to get to Southampton for 12:30.
So you're coming to Pop World with us after then at 11:30.
Pop World, oh my God.
Sorry, the please means slightly more, guys. Sorry, I've got my ticket and I'm ready.
Sold out, isn't it, apparently?
I want to see
Claire?
Paul in one of the Pop World wigs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man.
On Friday night.
Claire,
I was off,
Claire,
but
it's sold.
it's
Is it
kick
sold?
off, so.
Is it sold out, Claire? I think it is, isn't it? I heard
It's sold out, yeah.
Southampton.
Yeah,
Sold
that was
out,
great, yeah.
Sunderland as well.
That's
Half
brilliant.
12,
That's
fair play to
fantastic, isn't it?
I thought you meant Pop World.
Pop World.
Wayne Monarchs has said 2-1 Blues. Ray Hobro has gone for 1-0 to Hull. Nigel Manners has said thanks Al with some very strange smoking symbols afterwards. Martin Ward has said 4-0 Blues with Stansfeld, Bakker, Duke and Miyoshi all to score. Jason Hughes has gone 2-all if he plays the same team. 3-1 if he plays the way that he should. Ian Clayton said drop Hogan and we'll win 3-0. Stephen Cowell has also said that we'll have a 3-0 defeat on Saturday. Paul McCarthy's gone 1-all on Saturday. Apparently, it's going to be like sitting with Mark Andrew Adams. I don't know what Dennis actually means by that one, so please can you explain? Blues need to score first on Wednesday, says Ray Hobro. Saturday, Mike Hill saying 1-1. Michael Woods is going Saturday a 2-3 loss. So that actually means we'll win, Mike. So you mean 3-2 loss.
Yeah.
So Jason Hughes said he's going on Saturday, so he's hoping that we can snatch a win. Claire, where is the best place to park in Southampton from Mark Lightwood?
I have absolutely no idea. I've only ever been there just to see it before I went to the Isle of Wight. So,
Well, thanks for nothing then. Thanks for nothing.
Last time I went to Southampton, it was 0-0, and a Blues fan jumped in the river afterwards.
Well, each their own.
Genuinely, yeah.
Anything can happen in a away game, so let's see someone jumps in it now.
There are roads. Mark, is that because he had to talk to you on the way home, or?
Well, that's the last time I had any sort of friend.
well, guys, it's 9 o'clock, and I'll leave it with Paul Hipkiss
It's 8 o'clock, Chris.
8 o'clock even.
One job.
We're in Solihull. We're an hour in front.
We're now in front.
Of course we are.
Yeah, thanks again, obviously, everyone for viewing, and thanks for everyone giving up your time to be with us tonight. And onwards and upwards. Let's just, in my opinion, let's give Rooney a free hit and move forwards and see how we go from Wednesday onwards now and start afresh. But anyway, it's good night from me.
Good night.
Good night from Mark Adams.
Good night, everyone. Have a safe week. See you on Friday. You can talk to me.
Good night.
Good night from the chairman.
Good night, everyone, and thanks to that wonderful lady in Greenock who sold me a kebab pie. It was the biz.
Sounds nice, that does. Good night from Dallas.
Good night, all.
Good night from Claire Giblin.
Good night, see you on Wednesday, Friday and Saturday.
Good night from Craig Courtney.
Good night, everybody. See you on Wednesday. See you on Friday. And Mark Andrew Adams. We'll see you with Escobar.
Hey.
And saving the best till last. Good night from Chris Browne.
Good night, and thank you to Off-Grid Badman. I love you too.
Good night, John Boy.
Who said that?
Good night.
Good night, Mark.
See ya.
I vote Claire for WM.
Hi, Claire.
Have they gone yet?
Thanks, Mark. Definitely my number 2.
I'm still
Can't
number
wait to see
1.
you on Wednesday, Craig.
Happy birthday, Jax.
Happy birthday, Max.
I don't care much.
Hope you had a good birthday, Mags.
Yeah,
We love
do it
you,
all again
Max.
next year. Craig, is Escobar big?
Good Friday.
Bit personal, isn't it?
I had the bags all right.